It was a complete game changer. It made me know that after this course, it's just a lifestyle thing that I can carry on forever. It's not I'm going to lose 10 kilos with James Farmer and then hopefully I'll keep it off. It's a way of thinking. It's more than personal training. It's looking at your overall health. With working from home, you get into bad habits, and you'd have a glass of wine after dinner most nights, and you don't really realize how many calories you're taking on when you're doing that sort of thing.
I mean, how at that point when we started working together, how had that started to impact other areas of your life?
I think my concentration at work was probably diminished, certainly focus. And that just made me want to throw myself into work more. So I felt like I was working longer hours, had less work-life balance because I was sort of throwing everything into delivering what I needed to deliver. Quickest way to separate work life and home life is to open the fridge and open the bottle of wine, and that just becomes a regular habit, and I think then you make bad food choices, and if you've had a couple of drinks the night before, then you're craving more sort of carby foods, and then it's a vicious cycle. And because obviously you've slept probably less well, you're craving more sugar, and it's just a vicious cycle. There'd be something that would come up sort of quarterly that would make me go, shit, I need to lose some weight. Mainly what I would be doing would be short-term fixes. So like if I felt like I wanted to lose a few pounds, or if I felt just a bit unhealthy, like most people, I would go for a few runs. So I'd have a week where I would just go for some runs, and that would help me feel better in the short term, but I wasn't actually getting any results. You showed me that it's the small changes, it's the tiny incremental tweaks to your day, and the decisions that you make that add up over that week, and then that week goes on to the next week. And by seeing those drops in weight happen just from these small changes that you make, rather than these huge life changes that you feel you're going to have to do. I think before we started this program, I got to the point where I was thinking, am I going to have to socialize a lot less? Am I going to have to quit drinking altogether? Am I going to have to, live like a monk for 6 months in order to get? And that's how I looked at it. And I guess like a smoker, there's never a right time to start, and you kind of go, well, I've got this coming up. Oh, I've got Easter coming up, and we have a big family meal, and I'll start after Christmas, and oh, well, I'm going on holiday. I don't want to be worrying about what I'm eating and drinking on holiday, and there's always something. And so what this plan helped me do was realize that you can still do all of those things. You just plan around.
How did that feel when you realized that? How did that feel?
I didn't have to give anything up, which was the great thing. I didn't have to give up, some of the breakfasts that you like to have. You didn't have to give up alcohol entirely. You just have to work out how to fit it in with the goals. And you have quite a lot of freedom within the plan to do that. What surprised me most, actually, is how much I enjoyed being on it. After a while, I thought you were going to really punish me in the gym, and I thought you were going to really restrict my diet. And actually, you don't. It's all very incremental. There were some written exercises that you got me to do, which were really helpful. Actually, I guess it helps you learn more about me, what my goals are, which helps you train me.
What buttons to push.
Yeah. But also you learn a lot about what your goals really are, because you can start this program thinking, I want to lose some weight, or I want to feel this or whatever, but you don't realize how much that feeds into other aspects of your life, and other aspects of your life that you might not be happy with, and how that all feeds in together. And so doing the coaching modules helps you understand all of that, and then when you see the benefits in all aspects of your life, not just on the waistline. I was able to come home for the weekend, and it was great. We're cycling all weekend. Did something like a 30k cycle on Saturday. Went swimming in Beckenham Lake on the weekend.
Great.
With my girlfriend, which was great. In the beginning of this, I would have been like, do I really want to take your top off and you know, jump in a public lake? But you know, I don't really have to think about it now, which is
And so now we've come to the end of the program. So what was your final weight loss?
8.1 kilos. What was the great thing about this course is you break up, you start as really light and you just focus on breakfasts, and you get the breakfast nailed, and then you get the lunches and you work at the lunches nailed, and you work your way up to the point where you're aware of everything that I'm consuming on any given day, and then you work out where those problem areas are, and then we tweak those areas. Once we got that finely tuned, the weight came off very quickly, didn't it? And
we didn't
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I was dropping nearly a kilo a week.
Yeah. Within that program, you've had a holiday, you've had huge work commitments. You've not had, it's not been an easy run of time for you. And even within that, with all those other commitments, you've still
it was a complete game changer. I knew that it made me know that after this course, it's just a lifestyle thing that I carry on.
You've lost over 8 kilos.
It's not I'm going to lose
it's a
10 kilos
result.
with James Farmer, and then and I know what I can do to keep going now. It's a way of, I think that was always one of the aims. And personal training. Things we discussed at the beginning was looking at your overall health. After this 12-week course, you won't need me. Yeah, in that sense, you know, I'll give you the tools that you need to know how to monitor it yourself, how to know when you're, you know, you might need to get back on it or tighten the strings a little bit. And exactly what you need to do. I mean, there's so many myths out there. There's so much rubbish out there in terms of weight loss, and you know, when you should eat, when you should exercise, and all that stuff. And actually, what was great about your course is you really simplify it and you make it very easy to understand. And you work out together what works for you and what helps you lose weight and what you can get away with. I mean, that's one of the big things, is that you don't have to become a monk.
Yeah, literally
to get the target. Yeah, you don't have to cancel all social plans. It's you find a way of working around them, which has been a huge life-changing thing for me.
And do you feel like it has been life-changing?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like I'm never going to be going back to me in February, wherever it was we started this.
That's huge.
That's huge. Yeah,
that's huge. Do you realise how huge that is?
Probably not. I guess the way to sum it up to someone, it's kind of like having a friend whose sole responsibility is to look after your health and your weight without any of the other distractions. I mean, that's what it's felt like. I haven't felt like it's ever been get down and give me 20. You know, it's never been overly. You've managed to fit it in with the rest of someone else's busy life. You've never had to make it someone's number one priority in their week, but at the same time, important enough, high enough in that person's week to get the results that they really want. And I think that's the great thing about your course and you specifically.